think we're preparing to go live stream.
Oh, yeah. Whoa. The
Setting
meeting
up.
is being, okay.
Okay, we got it. This meeting is being streamed Facebook Live. I'm going to give the make you back co-host again, Dr. Nikki. You've done a great job on that.
You got it.
Thank you. So it's 6:30, and good evening, everyone. And I'm gonna say welcome to the Pine Hills Community Council meeting. I'm your president of this Pine Hills Community Council meeting. And we're gonna call the meeting to order at 6:30. And we call the meeting order with a prayer and a pledge of allegiance. Can I get someone to lead us in prayer and followed by the pledge? Oh, Pastor Joey's on. Thank you, Pastor Joey, just in time. Can you lead us in prayer, Pastor Joey, and the pledge of allegiance, please?
Yes. Well, let us pray. Well, Lord, we thank you for being so great and so mighty and so awesome. And we thank you for this opportunity to come together as a council, and come together as a community, God, to share thoughts and to put things together, God, divinely ordained by you. That's what we ask. And God, I pray, God, that as we go forth in this meeting on today, God, that you would be with us in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, we can do the pledge.
Do the pledge of allegiance.
All right. Well, I pledge allegiance to the flag.
To the flag
It
of the
states
United States of America.
and to the republic for which it
for
stands,
which it stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under God,
under God,
indivisible,
with liberty
and justice for all.
for all.
Okay. Thank you, Pastor Joey. Thanks again. And I want to welcome everyone here to this meeting tonight. If this is your first time joining on, I want to say thank you for joining. I'm going to welcome our elected officials here tonight. I notice Ms. Arthene is here representing Representative Camille Brown. Landra Womack is representing the Orange County Tax Collector. And Ms. Rose Nancy is representing our Commissioner Sibling. So thank you all for being here tonight. And for those who's here for the first time, I want to say that the Pine Hills Community Council, we are a 501c4 nonprofit organization. We're a civic organization. And we are one of the leading, we is the leading organization in this area that advocate for the Pine Hills resident and for the Pine Hills business. We advocate for the interests of the business and resident at the local, state, and federal level. So we're happy to have you here, happy to have you on board with us. And with that being said, I'm going to show you the agenda for tonight. So let's see if I can share my screen. I just had this thing up and I closed it out. Forget that. So our agenda is going to be approval of the minutes, approval of the treasury report, and the president report. So I just closed this out. Let me see if I can bring this back up again. Give me 1 second, please. I don't like to fool with this thing when I am. Here we go. Thank you, Lord. That's it. Here. So let's shorten this. Let's get out of here and go back here. Give me 1 second and go back and share the screen again. This is what I want. Okay. So we're going to look at that was the agenda that we just, this is our agenda. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So our agenda, we did the call to order, our prayer and pledge, and welcome approval of the minutes. And Bettina sent out the minutes earlier today. No, she sent out last week. So for those who had opportunity to look at the minutes from January meeting, February meeting, excuse me. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes or either identify any corrections for the minutes from our January meeting?
Yes, this is Evangeline Richardson. I did get a chance to read the minutes that I found no error, so I move that the minutes be accepted as printed.
All in favor?
Seeking the second.
Second, thank
Aye.
you. Okay, a second.
Who was the second?
I second. This is Dr. Nichols.
Thank you. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, any opposed? Thank you. So our minutes has been approved for my February meeting. So our next item on the agenda is the treasury report. We did not do our treasury report from January. So this is the treasury report, I believe, from January. So we're going to approve both treasury reports. Ms. Van, can you see the January
Yes. I
report?
do. Yes, I
Okay,
do.
thank you.
I have it in front of me.
Thank
Good
you.
afternoon. Good evening, everyone. My name is Evangeline Richardson. I will be giving you the treasury report for the month of January and the month of February. In January, we had an income of $294.59 in dues. We had an expense of $101.25, and that's to renew our Florida divisions of license that we have to have as a 501c3. We have to renew that every year. And so that came to $101.25. What we had on hand as the 1st of January was $5,727.54, with our income of $294.59 and our expense of $101.25, left us with a balance of $505,920.88. In our savings account, we received 1 cent. That's the one we have at Chase Bank. We have a bank savings account also at SunTrust. We got 7 cents interest. And when you add all the end of the operation fund of $5,920.88, our savings account of $1,625.38, and our second savings at SunTrust of $7,783.96 gave us a total of $15,330.22 on hand as of January 31st. And that's for January. I will also go ahead and do February. Are there any questions for January?
I don't see any.
Okay, then I will go to February report. Well,
Okay,
wait a minute, I just placed my February. Where is it? I only did 2 at once. I grabbed one and didn't have the other. You got the February up on the screen?
it's on the screen. Can you see it?
Yeah, barely.
Hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna show you in just a second. I learned how to do this today. I think this is it. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's asking me a question. Can you see it?
No, that's the, you got to go down.
Okay, hold on. That's February. Can you see it?
Yeah, just barely. Yes,
Okay.
there you go. There you go. Good, good.
Good, thank
So,
you.
so in February, as you can see on the screen, we collected of $1,294.52 in dues. We had no expense for the month of February. Our beginning operating fund as of February 1st was $5,920.88. Our income for the month of February, $1,294.52. Our total operating fund as of February 28th is $7,215.40. In our savings accounts, we got 1 cent interest. Again, that's at Chase Bank, and at SunTrust Bank, we got a 7 cent interest. And so when you add and do all the totals up, what we have on fund, on total fund, operating and savings is $16,642.82.
Okay,
Are there any questions? If not, back to you, Madam President.
okay. So we don't need a motion to approve the minutes, right? We just need to I mean, the treasury report, they already approved.
No, you need both of them to be approved.
Okay, so can I get a motion to approve January and February treasury report?
Uh, I make a motion to do so as
Second,
presented.
thank you, Bettina. Is there a second? Okay, thank you, Cheryl. She's a member. I see Cheryl hand. Thank you, Cheryl. Cheryl Sereno. Thanks for being on, Cheryl. So all in favor? Aye. Are there any opposes?
No,
Nay.
no.
I'm gonna ask you, everybody, thank you, Ms. Van, for the treasury report, and thank you, Bettina, for our secretary report. And for those that are new on the line, I do want to recognize the board members. For those that's new on the line, I'm gonna read across the top of the screen. We see Dr. Nichols, raise your hand. She's a part of the board. She also chairs our beautification committee. Bettina, she's our secretary on the board. Thank you, Bettina. Ms. Van just gave the treasury report. She's a part of the board. Thank you, Ms. Van.
Mhm.
Kenneth Dwyer, he's on the board. Thank you, Kenneth. Raise your hand, Kenneth. Thank you, Kenneth. I see Noel Martin. I don't see his face, but he's on the board. Thank you, Noel. Dr. B, Dr. Idler. He's a part of the board. Thank you, Dr. B, for being here. So I don't see, is there anyone here? Pastor Joey, is he still on the call? Just did the prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you, Pastor Joy. He's on the board. Is there anyone that I'm missing that's on the iPhone that I do not recognize your telephone number? Is there anyone on the board that I'm missing? Okay. Thank you for being here tonight. And I'm gonna ask everyone right now to please share. Go to our Facebook page, the Pine Hills Community Council Facebook page. This is being recorded Facebook Live, also Zoom. So please go on our Facebook page and share this, because I'm sure something tonight will be shared. You would want someone to hear about it. So please go and share our Facebook page. I'm going to ask you also that if you're not speaking, then please keep your keep your line on mute. And so the next thing on the agenda is the president report. Just going to say a couple of things with the president report. I'll keep it brief. We did our annual report. The Pine Hills Community Council is audited every year, and we completed our audit report, and our books are in good standing. So I wanted the council member to know that we were audited our books for 2021, and we are in good standing. Other thing I want you to know that the council did attend the memorial candlelight vigil for Mr. Cummings. Mr. Cummings was the 78-year-old man that was murdered at CVS Pharmacies. I got the phone call that it was going on, so I thought it was more than appropriate for someone from the council to go, since I received a phone call that was on last Friday. The family came in, a beautiful family. They came in from Maryland, Virginia.
We will start with you order.
I need everyone to mute their line. They came in from Maryland, Virginia, London, all over, and they wanted the community to know that their father, their uncle, their grandfather, their granduncle had family members, and he was a human. It was a very good ceremony. It happened at CVS. The CVS staff was also there. Orange County Sheriff Department, a couple of people from Orange County Sheriff Department was there. Orange County Victim Advocate Unit was there as well. So it was a great candlelight memorial service on last Friday. Other thing, I do want you to know that we are recruiting board members. So if you're a part of the council and you've been a part of the council for at least a year or 6 months, you've been attending our meetings, I know who you are. So we're looking for board members to expand our board and expand our ideas. You have great ideas, and we want to grow more in this area. So if you're interested in becoming a board member, send us an email at info@pinehills.info, so we can have a conversation to see if you meet the qualification in being a board member. And I want to thank, speaking of board members and members, I do want to thank all the new members that have signed on for the month of February. You saw our dues increase, the $1,200 that came in for the month of February came in from membership dues. So thank you all that has came in as new members, and thank you for those that have renewed your memberships as a council member. And I just want to share a quick testimony. Is Ms. Bernadette, is Ms. Berna Flakes on the line? So she's not on the line, but she wrote a testimony as to why she became a member of the council. I'm just going to read just 1 or 2 sentences. And it says that I have been a resident in the Pine Hills for many years. I live in the condominium complex where there has been incidents of robberies, break-in, trespassing, and carjacking. When these incidents happen and are reported, there is minimum follow-up and investigation carried out. Since joining the council, our community has met individual who has given us assistance and safety precautions, contact information for the elderly, career information, etc. We also have personal contact and communication with officers of the sheriff department. It is a blessing to be a member of the council and having a support system. Great testimony as the service that the council provides to the community. And that's what we're here to provide: knowledge, resource, educate, engage, and empower our community so that they can take the steps to be safe in their community. So thank you, Ms. Bernie, for that testimony. One other report I want to make, that was that. Application process. I notice sometimes when members come in and go on our website and become a member, there is a process. Sometimes the members who want to become a member fill out the application process, but there's another step to the application process. It's a minimal fee, an annual fee to be a part of the Pine Hills Community Council. And that fee help us to budget and do the things that we do in the community. As a student, it's only $5 a year. As an elder, it's $15 a year. If you're not an elder, it's $20 a year. If you're an agency, it's $50 a year. If you're an organization, it's $100 a year. We just had someone to sign on to be a gold membership, and that was the Orlando Regional Realtor Association. They partner with us as a gold membership, and that's $1,000 a year. So I thank you for those that have signed on to become a member of the council and to help us get the message out and to service this Pine Hills community. Thank you very much. That's it for my president report. Unless you have any questions, we're gonna go into the 3 minutes presentation with the sheriff department, Evans High School if they're on, and then followed by our guest speaker, Samuel Weekly. Are there any questions? No questions. Okay. Sheriff Department, you have it. Deputy, thank you, sir.
Hi, it's Lieutenant Chris Tatum with the Orange County Sheriff's Office. I'm one of the nighttime watch commanders here for the Pine Hills community. So I've actually worked Pine Hills for the majority of my about 13-year career. For those of you who don't know me, you may have seen me around. I used to work in the community-oriented policing squad out here in Pine Hills as well. So I attended a lot of these meetings in the past. Just give you a quick update on things that have been going on in Pine Hills, at least as far as the sheriff's office is concerned. We have seen an increase in interpersonal crimes recently. What I mean by that is there have been a small increase in the number of robberies and persons crimes like batteries and assaults that have been happening, which is a little alarming. But the good news that we do have is that in reviewing those cases, I can tell you that in over half of them, arrests were made either on the scene or shortly thereafter. So the offenders in those cases are in the process of being held accountable for what they have done. So I don't think there's any cause for alarm for the community at large. In a number of these incidents as well, not that it makes it okay, but they were incidents involving juveniles walking home from school and then maybe either being bullied by another person from that school and items being taken, So not your traditional, what most people would think of as a robbery with, somebody running up behind you with a weapon or something like that. Again, not that it makes it okay, but they're not as serious incidents as perhaps, just the number might lead you to believe. Outside of that, we have seen a substantial decrease in the number of property crimes that are occurring out here. I think a lot of that has to do with not only the number of proactive patrols the sheriff's office has been doing, but the fact that more people are now being careful about locking up their cars and things like that. And neighbors are calling in a lot more often about suspicious people who are in the area. So we are able to address those calls as we get them. But that's pretty much everything that I have, unless somebody has any questions about anything particular.
Are there any questions? I'm gonna make this one statement before the questions come in. I want to say thank you, and the family, Mr. Cummins' family want to say thank you. They said thank you at the memorial service as to the swift results and find the person that had murdered their father and their grandfather. The sheriff department said that they was not going to rest until they brought this case to justice. I think you did it within a couple of days, and they recognized that and they said thank you. I want to pass that on to you since you brought that up. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you. We appreciate it. And yes, especially for a case like that, it's just so senseless. We do everything we can to make sure that we kind of bring at least a little bit of closure in the way that we can to the family.
Do we have any questions from our sheriff? Nicholas, I recognize your hand. Yes.
Yes, and Patricia, you're breaking up just slightly. I don't know if it's on my end or not, but it sounds like a little bit of
Yeah, she's breaking up.
technical.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's breaking up.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, Chris, thank you for that update and that information. That is great to hear that those crimes are decreasing, and of course we're being vigilant as possible in the community. I wanted to just express my thoughts related to what we're still seeing, and I know that it's been on the radar with the racers, and we still see and hear the racers. And actually, there's been several accidents along Hiawassee Road, particularly between Colonial Drive and Balboa and Silver Star, related to the racers that continue every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night, wherever they can get a spot. So it's just concerning. And I know I bring this up every time because it's been, hopefully you can hear me.
Yes,
I have my headset. It's been over time, and I see that it gets better, but then it begins to progress back again. And I know that Captain Ela mentioned in our last meeting that it's something that they're continuously trying to get a handle on. Are there any other, what can we think about? And I don't want to take up too much time, and it can be something that we can talk about afterwards, but I know that one of the shopping center down at Hiawassee and Colonial Drive, the Highland Lake Shopping Plaza, actually, several of the tenants there reported that the racers were in the back during Willie's during certain times of the day.
Wow.
So I see you shaking your head, yes,
Yes.
because you know about this. And I get the call, and someone's in the chat box right now sending something else, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But I wanted to just kind of what can we do, because we can only do what we can do is call it in. But if no one comes out to see what's happening, they quickly move and maneuver very quickly. But I want to say one thing I am proud to say, and I hate that I did see that the Orlando Police Department down by 7-Eleven down near, I want to say that's Dorsha, near Sam's, you know where that is, West Colonial Drive.
Yes.
There were several of them that were caught, and it was a group of about maybe 25 to 30. So this is a very prevalent area where it's happening. So what is happening to address this issue?
So I'm glad you brought that up, because we actually organized a detail that was relatively successful this last weekend. And because of that, I believe we're going to try and continue it. One of the difficulties we have with the racers is that because they're in vehicles, a lot of times they'll flee. And in the balance of trying to hold them accountable, but also keeping the public safe. We try not to pursue them because it just encourages them to continue to run. So one of the strategies that we've had is trying to get close enough to get information on who they are without them noticing. So we'll, for example, we caught one person who was in the process of street racing. Thankfully, they didn't hurt anybody, but we were able to identify them and their vehicle, found them the next day, and the person was arrested. Their vehicle was impounded. So sometimes what will happen is you'll see them racing and maybe the response doesn't seem like it's there, but we have people who are out there observing and trying to take those notes to hold them accountable in the future. It's just that interacting with them in the moment creates difficulties that we're trying to manage because we don't want to put you all in danger by having them drive even faster to run from us. But we are trying innovative strategies in order to get them under control and make this an unhospitable place for people to continue to race. We also monitor when the racers are out because they'll usually utilize social media or other electronic communications to organize their meets. We figure out where those places are, and if we can set up beforehand, basically make it inhospitable for them to be there, either by having a bunch of deputies who are already out there so they know they can't meet, and unfortunately, sometimes just pushing them to a different location, but hopefully just discouraging them from doing it in the first place. So we are continuing to combat that. And like Captain Ela said, it is unfortunately an ongoing problem, but we are trying to be more innovative because we know our initial approaches to it just haven't been as effective. But so far, it seems like this new approach is gaining some traction. So we're hoping that in continuing to do it, we'll continue to see good results.
Thank you. I
Thank
see Ms.
you.
Van hand up, and we'll
Yes.
take Ms. Van hand and then we'll move on to the next one. Ms.
Well,
Van,
Yes, Cassandra has a thing in the chat box
I'm
also.
reading it.
Okay.
okay,
But
thank you.
my concern, my question to you, Lieutenant Tatum, is that do you have a scheduled route that you all are going around in the community? Because I used to see someone more often, but it seemed like lately, I would say in the last 3 or 4 months, I have not seen any deputies just riding up and down the road in neighborhoods and so forth. Is that has stopped, or are you all still doing that?
We still do that, but I can tell you we try to vary our patrols because the last thing that we want is for, let's say, the criminal element is kind of observing our patrol routes. We don't want them thinking we ride down your street every night at 9 p.m. So they just have to wait until 9:30 to come do something where
Yep.
you at. So we do try to vary it up a little bit. But we have noticed that because of at least around the holidays, for example, I do know it was exceptionally busy. And when we get busier with calls for service, there's usually less time for that proactive patrol. We still try to make the time in order to have that happen, but it doesn't always happen as often as we would like. So I guess to answer your question, we do still do it. We vary up the time, so it's never on a regular schedule, but sometimes because of call volume, we do have to deviate from that.
Okay, all right. It's nice to have you. So we want you out.
Thank
Come
you.
by anytime. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Patricia, do you want to address the question in the chat?
Yes, please. Thank you. I'm letting you address those questions.
Okay, there's a
Thank you.
question in the chat that indicates, I love that we have seen a decrease in overall crime. How will we handle the homeless camps behind the Save-A Lot off West Colonial Drive and Powers Road? Many items have gone missing from neighbors via Nextdoor app, from yards, etc. Reports have been put in via fires being burned in their camp, as well as more trash collecting from the area. So that seems to be an ongoing problem, is what I'm hearing.
Yes, and we do get a number of calls, unfortunately, about the residents of that particular area. The biggest challenge the sheriff's office faces in a situation like that is the owner of the lot technically has to be the person who complains about their presence there and that they're trespassing. Because if, for example, they say that the owner has allowed them to stay there and we can't disprove that, we have to allow them to continue to stay. Now, we'll address problems. So, for example, I know the other night there was an incident of interpersonal violence between two members of the camp. So we went out there to address that. But in order to actually remove them, we would need a property representative to say, no, none of these people are allowed to be here. Please trespass them from the property. And then we can take more aggressive, I suppose you could say, steps into removing them permanently.
Very good.
I think that's excellent insight, because we've been talking about several homeless camps that we have seen going up around the Pine Hills area and the old shopping center, like the Waffle House on West Colonial Drive. So that's good for us to know as a council as to how to move forth with addressing that. Thank you for sharing that.
Is that the only question that's in the chat?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, at this point.
Okay, Bettina,
I have a question.
this will be our last
you-
question.
Yes, during do your special deputies, do they work with the own property owners when you have these issues on a location like that? Is that something you do for your special deputies?
Yeah, so we have our special projects deputies who, if we see a continual problem like that, and actually I was typing a note so I could send it to our special projects deputies now to see if we can get in touch with that property owner. But we'll try and get in touch with them to see if, hey, can you send us a letter saying, yes, nobody's supposed to be there and that you're willing to prosecute if we can. And I will tell you, I know some people are a little hesitant about wanting to prosecute. The sheriff's office approach isn't to immediately arrest the people who are on the property, because we understand that there's, a reason why they're out in that particular area, staying there. It's not as if they have a bunch of other options, right? So we try to assist them by providing them with additional options, encouraging them to leave peacefully. But essentially what we need in our back pocket is, hey, if we've tried everything else and you're refusing to cooperate with us, then we may have to take you to jail. So we do reach out to those property owners to try to get them to cooperate.
Do you still have your no trespassing program?
Yes,
where
ma'am, we
you
do.
can- Yeah, so that property owners, if they have this problem, they can sign up for that, and they can call you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Last question, Ken, because we're.
Madam President, I've got a church Zoom at 7 o'clock. I have to go off.
Who that, Joel, Mr. Carwell?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much, sir.
No problem.
Good to see you, Joe.
Okay, man.
Okay. Ken, last
Bye
question.
now.
We can
Okay,
have our speaker.
hopefully your last question. Is Bay Hill, Sand Lake Road better in contact with the sheriff's department? Because I don't see the homeless situation in that area on Pockev Island in south of 408. Do they have a better relationship, or have they done a better job with the sheriff's department?
To be entirely honest, in my 13 years here, I've never really seen the homeless population congregating in those areas. So I'm not sure if that's just a choice or happenstance that they don't seem to congregate there. But to my knowledge, no one in that area has any sort of special contact or any person that seems to lend them better aid. I think it's just the choice has been made by members of that particular community not to settle in those areas.
I'm going to make this one comment and then we can move on to our guest speaker to try to address what Ken is asked. As a former probation officer and having dealt with the homeless population, homelessness tends to congregate where their resources are. The resources were downtown Orlando for years. And so they would congregate downtown Orlando. Now the resources are leaving the downtown area and then moving out west. So they're going to congregate where they get their resources. there aren't any resources per se, Ken, that's in the Dr. Phillips area that's going to accommodate the homelessness. So they have really, so that's one of the reasons that we noticed that they migrate where the resources are. So I'm gonna leave that as that. I'm gonna move on. Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant, you said, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And tell Captain Eda, thank him for not forgetting about us and sending a representative. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
It
So we're
is,
gonna move.
yeah, I'm just gonna say in the chat, Rose Nancy had put some information about homeless. So if anyone want to get that information.
Thank you for monitoring that. Thank you very much. So we're going to move on to our speaker that's here tonight, Mr. Sam Weekly.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Patricia. Do I have, am I able to share my screen right now?
Yes, hold on for a second. Make you co-host. Make Sam co-host.
Okay.
You got it.
I have a few slides, and but before I show them, I wanted to let everyone know that tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, we'll be having our March Pine Hills NID Advisory Board meeting, and this is a relatively special one, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We are officially kicking off a very comprehensive workforce development project that is going to focus exclusively on the Pine Hills area and the areas within a 5-mile radius. So I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on that, but before I do, I wanted to say that our executive director, who's going to be running the day-to-day operations for this, is on the call right now. Her name is Barbara Newton. Barbara, if you want to unmute yourself and say hello.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing us to speak this evening. I look forward to meeting all of you in the future and attending every monthly meeting. I'm so excited about the program, and as Sam will tell you, please come out tomorrow if you have that opportunity. It's going to be great for all of the residents of Pine Hills. I'm very familiar with Pine Hills area. I've been a resident in Orange County for over 30 years and very familiar. I've worked with community action with the Pine Hills office as well as the one in Mercy. So I'm excited to assist. And if you have any questions after this, please don't hesitate. But Sam will give us the email, and please, I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. And to clarify, Barbara is now working for the African American Leadership Consortium, and they are going to be the consultant that will be managing the day-to-day business for this project for us. So with that being said, I'm going to share my slides with you. And they're brief. I've intentionally made them brief because we have a much larger slide set that we're going to show tomorrow because some of the information that we're going to show tomorrow, I'm not showing tonight because I'm going to have a guest presenter tomorrow during the meeting. So Tuesday, February 8th, just a few weeks ago now, Mayor Demings and Orange County DCC passed a purchase order on the consent agenda to pay for the project. The purchase order, the payment was for approximately somewhat just short of $500,000 for 1 year. This project has been in development since October 2020. It literally started as a spreadsheet and me driving around in Google Maps trying to find employment information for the different large companies that we have right here in the Pine Hills area. I want to say a special thanks before I move on also to Commissioner Siplin and Commissioner Moore for identifying this as a priority project for the Pine Hills community and for pushing to make this project a reality. So a lot of kudos to them as well. And here we are. The project is focused on aiding residents in Pine Hills and helping them to find access and resources to companies that are right here in this area. As you're well aware, that Pine Hills is situated in a location that is geographically, it has a lot of different industrial and manufacturing parks, business parks within a very close proximity to the community. So, and why that's important is because these jobs that are available in these business parks on average start at around $52,000 to $55,000 a year annually. So for one person. Well, I'm not sure if you're aware, but the average family median income, family household income in Pine Hills is $55,000 a year. So that's the income. You can get a job potentially, let's say, for example, Amazon, making $52,000 a year, and you were making more than the average family median income in Pine Hills. That's significant. So the impetus for this project is, if you live in Pine Hills, we want to help you find a career and or get trained for a new career in the Pine Hills area or within a 5-mile radius. And the 5-mile radius is very important because we found that to be a good indicator for how far people could reasonably commute without having to have the hassle or the worry of getting on a bus and riding a bus for 2 hours one way down to Lake Nona or to Disney, or you have to make 3 transfers on a bus to get down to Disney from Pine Hills. So why would we not want to try to identify large corporations and companies right here in the Pine Hills area where people can get skills training and walk into a job where they're making a sustainable income. So we're currently working with a lot of the companies here, and I hesitate to give all the names out, but it suffices to say these are all household companies, and they are all in the process of signing MOUs to work with us on this project, which means that Barbara's team will be working with those companies to bring in Pine Hills residents who are interested in working at these companies.
Pretty good.
So what we're focusing on are high-paying career-level positions at these companies, and career-level positions are there. I want to delineate the difference between what a job is and what a career is. I think this is very important for people to understand that the word job can mean an awful lot of things, right? There's a lot of definitions for the word job, but there's only one definition for the word career. And career is something that someone can step into and find growth, find opportunities and resources and opportunities to advance in that company. A stepping stone to an even better career, but within that company and with benefits. A lot of the jobs that many folks in Pine Hills are working right now, they don't even get benefits. They're working possibly 2 to 3 jobs, part-time jobs, where the benefits are lacking. So a lot of these companies offer really great benefits, and we found that there's a lot of people in Pine Hills that don't even realize that these companies are in Pine Hills. A lot of folks don't even know there's an Amazon within a half a mile from the El Presidente. So, and that's significant. Again, some of the career level positions that we're looking at right now are merchandisers, truck drivers, warehouse management and warehouse maintenance, HVAC maintenance and manufacturing, bus drivers, forklift drivers, and many more career level type positions. And as I just mentioned, career level equals opportunities for advancement and personal growth. As I mentioned, our partner, African American Leadership Consortium, will be conducting a very comprehensive outreach effort within the community, and will hit both ends. It will hit the business and company end, and it will also hit the residents end. And what we're trying to identify are people who are underemployed or unemployed or are searching for an opportunity to find a new career that helps them have a sustainable income and a better opportunity and access to resources. So the ALC, African American Leadership Consortium, will have 4, and I forgot to change this. We're not using the word job coaches anymore, but we're going to have 4 coordinators that will be working under Barbara, that will be in the field, not just doing community outreach with the companies and organizations. So they will be a regular fixture at the Pine Hills Community Council meetings. There will always be someone from this group at the meetings.
Good,
But,
okay.
and not just your meeting, but they'll be at Chambers of Commerce meetings. Specifically, we're working with the Apopka Chamber, the African American Chamber, and I can't remember the third one, but they're going to be doing a large outreach effort to all the companies, the organizations, the different community organizations, but they'll also be in the field assisting qualifying candidates with resume building, access to skill training, resources, and how to identify a career path that works for that candidate, or a career path that candidate is interested in pursuing. And their permanent base will be at the Pine Hills Community Center. Finally, there will eventually be a website, which is going to be another really large piece to this project, and we're working out the details now. We have a scope of services that we're trying to hammer out, and we're likely going to have to put it out to bid for a qualifying company to do the work. The website will have the capacity for the user end, on the user end, to look at numerous career seeker websites and return results to qualifying candidates for career level positions in or within a 5-mile radius of Pine Hills. So that means that they'll be able to put their address in a box, and all of the positions that we're talking about, the career level positions that are available with these companies, will show up right there on the screen for them to apply for. But they will only be able to see these companies that are within a 5-mile radius of their address. So which means that they'll be able to see approximately anywhere from searches in Ocoee all the way up to Apopka, down to Washington Shores and Orla Vista, and over to Rosemont and Lockhart, and potentially Eatonville. And the website will also talk to other partner websites such as CareerSource, which has a very large database that we're going to be leveraging as well. So it's going to be it's another project altogether. So these 2 projects, they're working hand in hand, but they're 2 entirely different projects. So, and I think that's the end of my slides. Yes, it is. So I'm going to bring this down, stop sharing, and I will open it up to any questions that anyone might have.
Okay, I'm gonna recognize by hands. Now, Ms. Van, is that a new hand up or an old hand up? Ms. Van?
I think it's an old hand up, Patricia. There are some comments in chat as well.
Can you read those comments, please, Dr. Nichols?
Absolutely. It looks like someone said, thanks for sharing this initiative. Will there be any support and any mentoring for individuals with invisible disabilities who may have challenges with interviewing, but who are eager to work and are good workers and need some coaching?
Well, yes, that's exactly what this project is designed to do. So besides working exclusively within specific communities, we're trying to provide make it easier access for resources for people that have traditionally struggled to figure out how to leverage those resources. So many people don't really know how to access a CareerSource type of resource, or many people don't even realize that there's not-for-profits like Dress for Success, where you can get a suit from them for an interview. that they'll dress you fully for an interview. So, and all of these companies are going to be working with us, and all these resources are going to kind of come together right here in this community. And Barbara's group and this project in general is the nexus for that. It's bringing all of those resources to the table as one big bundle, and people in Pine Hills or people in, we'll say, Ocoee, south of Popka, Rosemont, Lockhart, Eatonville, Orla Vista, Washington Shores, this general area will be able to leverage all of those resources just by coming to us.
Okay, Dr. Nichols, read another question from the chat, and then I'm gonna
Sure.
recognize the Noah
Sure,
hand.
sure.
Thank
And
you.
there's a question here from Kenneth that might need a little bit more clarification. Kenneth, you have West Orange CC ? So if you can take yourself off mute.
I think that's what Sam has not mentioned. I think he wanted to include West Orange Chamber.
Actually, no,
I
not
didn't think
right,
so.
not right now.
Not right
West Orange Chamber wanted to hold off and find out later on if they're going to be able to do it. We had talks with them about partnering with us, but at the moment they're not partnering with us right now. But there's no cap on that. So whenever we're able to make that happen, we're happy to do that. So
Thank you. Thank you. Noah,
Yes, thank you for the opportunity, and thank you, Sam, for the information you're passing on. It's very, very, I think, a great step in helping the Pine Hills community. My question is, in that project, is there any, what should I say, allocation for people who with a criminal record be assimilated back into the community and be able to get a career and get, turn over a new leaf, so to speak?
So there's no specific allocation, but there are opportunities for people with a criminal record who might want to pursue opportunities like this. So, and they are certainly welcome to come to us, because there are organizations here in the Metro Orlando area that specialize in this.
Okay.
So, and I really should also kind of give a nod to my project partner on this, and many of you know him well. It's Rod Love. He used to be the District 2 County Commissioner. He's been my project partner on this since day one, literally. So he and I have been joined at the hip trying to get this project moved forward. He runs several initiatives that address that very issue. So he's very in tune with this, and that's something that he personally wants to try to figure out how to help those folks, because obviously that they've done their time, and if they want to come out and find a good career. And I also have to give another nod to our other project partner, a big partner. Many of you have met or heard about the new Valentia College Center for Accelerated Training here in Pine Hills. Carolyn McMahon, Dr. Carolyn McMahon has been a great partner, and she is ready and willing to help us identify candidates from Pine Hills that are interested in coming into the program and learning skills training like welding and HVAC maintenance and warehouse maintenance technicians. And again, career level positions that start out you can start out as a welder at a company today making $65,000 to $70,000 a year right here in town. So that's a huge deal. But identifying these students, these candidates, she's been a great resource, and she's going to continue to be a great resource. So I wanted to give her a nod, because I think it's important that people know that all the plethora of resources that we're bringing to the table.
And
I've
you.
got a question. I know,
Go ahead, Patricia. There's one more comment in the chat that just came up. You can go.
okay. Want to read that comment?
Sure. It says, Sam, any consideration for Greater Haitian American Chamber?
We did initially consider that, and that's not off the table right now, but we identified the 3 chambers that we're going to be working with based on previous relationships. and also based on the, how can I say this? The number of people in the business community that they can touch. So we really wanted to identify some partners that can touch as many people as possible. And at some point, yeah, we will certainly engage the Haitian Chamber as well. But this is just the beginning. This is, you know, we had to identify 3 in the beginning to get started, but eventually, yes, we will engage.
I got a comment, and I'm going to piggyback on Dr. B observation, because Dr. B is of the Haitian culture, and Pine Hills have a heavy Haitian population. And so that would be something that we do want to look at later on, because they will be able to touch that Haitian population that's prevalent in the Pine Hills community. So that's a good observation, Dr. B. Thank you. He's a part of the board of the council. But Sam, my question is the marketing. Where is this program is as far as marketing and getting the information to the community so they'll be aware and that this program is there? What's the marketing strategy?
We actually have budgeted money for marketing in this project,
Okay.
and it's pretty substantial. We're looking at doing some media buys with at least one of the larger broadcasters here in town. As you know, it's going to be pretty heavy. It's not just word of mouth. We're really
Okay.
going to be getting out there and doing a heavy dose of social media, traditional media, and several of the media outlets have committed to following this project too, and reporting on it. So that's going to help as well.
Okay. I just want to make one of the comments. There's no other hands. I know, Sam, you said earlier, there are several definitions for job. And one of the definitions for job is just over broke. You know, when you got a job, you're living just over broke as opposed to a career. You know, for a long time, I had a job. You know, I was just over broke. Yes. So there is a big difference in a job and having a career where you can expand and enhance that career and move from level to level in organizations to organizations in that career.
And, you
So
know,
again,
and if I might add, it goes a little beyond that too, because if we're looking at this from a community perspective, you can't have a sustainable community that is going to grow and thrive if you have entire families making barely enough money to put food on the table and keep the lights on. It's just, you know, you can't expect to hit that level of sustainability at 55,000, a family income of $55,000 a year. It's just, it's difficult. It's hard. So we have to provide these resources, and we have to let people know their resources are within a bike ride from their house.
And
I know
I see there's
there's
a
a-
hand up. I just wanted to add too that I think that the program is offering some equity and inclusion across the board from what I'm hearing. So someone mentioned earlier about disabled or individuals with different abilities, and they would also have the opportunity to apply and look at these opportunities. So I think that's critical as we look at our community as a whole, because there are many individuals that have these, you say invisible disabilities, but have disabilities or learning, whatever it may be, they have the opportunity to grow and look at these opportunities for careers.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Ms. Van, I recognize your hand, and I'm gonna make a comment and then we're gonna move on if there's no any more observation. Ms.
Okay.
Van?
Yes, my question to you, Sam, is it qualification, income qualification to be able to be in this program? Or is this free to any and everybody that lives in and around the Pine Hill area?
Yeah, so there's 2 parts to that. The first answer is yes, it's free to anybody in Pine Hills or in the Pine Hills area. So there's no qualification. However, another one of our partners, and I'm sorry, there's so many of them, I just forget to bring them all up, but Orange County's Community Action Division is another one of our partners. And they also have a lot of resources available, like rental assistance and helping pay for tuition and other types of resources that they leverage. So if the candidates that come to us are also seeking those resources, then we defer them to community action. And at that point, if they choose to pursue those resources through community action, then there's an income qualification that they have to meet. But for us, if they're just looking for a new career or a new job and they're not interested in any of those other programs, it's free to anybody to leverage.
Okay, that's what I need to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam. There was a question early on and in the chat, and Rose Nancy responded to the chat. But for those that listened on Facebook Live, Sam, tell them more about the meeting tomorrow, the time, the date, and the location. They want to come in and hear the presentation, the full presentation, and meet your team tomorrow. Tell them how they could do that.
So they can come to Barnett Park, the Dolphin Room specifically, and it's at 9 o'clock. So Barnett Park, if you don't know, is at 4801 West Colonial Drive. And when you pull into the park, you're going to look for the great big lettering on the top of the building that says gymnasium, I believe, Barnett Gymnasium. And that's the administration building. It's really the only building out there, so it's hard to miss. And you go in and tell them you're there for the meeting, and they will show you how to get into the Dolphin Room, and we'll be set up in there. It's going to be set up for a traditional board meeting, and I will also have a WebEx link available. And Patricia, I've shared, if somebody wants to join virtually, if you wouldn't mind sharing that with them for me.
Okay.
But the caveat is, if you do join virtually and choose not to come in person, you cannot make any public comment via WebEx, because the Orange County we now follow the state of Florida's exception that we cannot use WebEx to make public comments anymore. So we're just making it available to stream and listen along if that's the route you choose.
It's a good question in the box too, chat box.
Okay.
It's about age requirements. I'll read it. It's just looking at it. It says, good evening, aftermath product of the pandemic. Many individuals realized that they were overworked and underpaid. Will this program be available to older Pine Hills residents, older than 40, who are now looking for a career?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good question.
Yeah, no, there are no age qualifications for this program. We are simply trying to provide an economic development stimulus that will help people reach new heights and reach sustainability. So there's no age income qualification. There's none of that. It's free to the community.
Well, thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. We're ready at 7:30, and we got a couple of more items to discuss, so please don't go away. If you're listening in, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow morning. I would not be in person, but I will be calling in and WebEx and tuning in. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming. So let's move on to our next item on our agenda, our committee reports. We're gonna start with our anti-litter code enforcement committee report. And Dr. Nichols, that's you.
Yes, just an update on what's coming up very quickly here. We have a Archer's Day Service Learning Community event that's scheduled for this Saturday at Robbinswood Middle School. And it's from 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. And we will be doing a community cleanup. There's quite a bit of area that has been identified within the Robbinswood area from the school itself, north, south, east, and west of the school. And we've been working very diligently with the Pine Hills Community Council, United Foundations, and other Commissioner Sibling's office to get that on the way. So that is happening this Saturday. Please come out and join us if you can. There will be food, fun, and lots of opportunity to get to know your neighbors in the community. So that's the next event that's coming up. And there's also an event that we're looking at partnering with Evans High School for our annual Global Cleanup Earth Day. So that's scheduled for September. And we'll be sending out save the dates for that as well. April. for April. We'll be sending out save the dates for that coming up. So just look for those. But those are two of the primary activities that are coming up. And we're working very closely with our Orange County code enforcement and compliance, as well as trying to get some meetings with the FDOT to try to look at areas that are most concern for cleanup and beautification in the area. So we'll keep everyone in tune with those as those happen.
Thank you very much. And I want to tag on one other cleanup. It is not sponsored by the council, but I saw it on Facebook, and it is in the Pine Hills area. On Saturday, March the 12th, New Life Christian Church, the New Life Church on Powers Drive, 3311 North Powers Drive. They are sponsoring a cleanup on Powers Drive. So that's Saturday, March the 12th at 10 o'clock. So write that down if you're available this Saturday, March the 5th at Robbinswood, and also the following Saturday, March the 12th for another community cleanup. So thank you. Thank you very much. Is nothing else, Dr. Nichols? I move on to our Legislative Economic Redevelopment Committee. There's a couple of things. Any questions? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I'll address these afterwards. These are comments that are coming in the chat box. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead on and address them if this pertaining to the anti-litter and code enforcement.
This is the website.
Yeah, the website is already up. Sam already posted the Sam Weekly at ocfl.net. That was in there as well. You
Okay.
can go ahead.
So Legislative and Economic Development Committee, we meet on the fourth Tuesday evening. The Anti-Litter Committee meet on the fourth Wednesday at 6 o'clock, Zoom. We meet on the fourth Tuesday, 7 o'clock, Zoom. But this past Tuesday, I attended a zoning meeting. And the zoning meeting was pertaining to a Deverall Behavior Center that is located on Christian Way in District 2. And Deverall wanted to, they have 45 students. 35 of those students are Deverall students. I think the other 32 students are DCF students. The other 13, excuse me, 35 is Deverall, other 13 is DCF. And so they teaching classes, but they wanted to build a 5,000 feet facility so that the students could expand. They would not add any more students, but they want to be able to make the students comfortable and get them out of the portable building. So they was asking for several variants. And thanks to Ms. Van, because I saw the announcement, Ms. Van called me, asked me if I was going to the meeting. I'm glad I went to that meeting on that last Tuesday night. I'm glad I went to the meeting because there were some changes made and we was able to connect with the residents in that area. So specifically, they wanted to get a variance to add 5 parking spaces and park on the grass. And I could not understand that because they have a paid parking lot and you want to add a spread 5,000, add a slab of 5,000 square feet, but not want to add any more parking space and to park on the grass. And I shared with them that the position of the council, we're totally against parking on the grass. As a matter of fact, that same day at the Board of County Commissioner meeting, they were addressing the environmental issue, you know, and parking on the grass is an environmental issue. To make a long story short, they got the point. But apart from that, we brought it up and the community brought it up to the administrator. One of the directors from Deverall was at the meeting. And currently, the staff, about 20 staff members, are parking outside the gate of Deverall on the county property on the right of way, because they did not want to park their cars behind the gate on Deverall property because there was fear of the kids damaging their cars. But the homeowners were saying, you are parking on the right of way, right in the back of my driveway. So when I back up, if I back up too far, I'm hitting your car. To make a long story short, the director said that he did not realize that parking on the grass was a violation of the county ordinance. So thank God that one of the county staff was there and was able to share with them that that was a violation, that they could no longer park on the grass. So they got the message, and I was so pleased to, a day later, this is what we saw. The director took the message back and he put no parking all along the fence line. So no longer are they parking on the county right of way. See here, there's parking here on the county right of way. But they have all this parking space behind the gate. But if we had not gone to the meeting to explain the position that you're in violation already, so that the director took the message, took it back to the staff, and he has all these no parking signs along the gate. So that solved that problem. So it's important that we stay engaged in the community and know what's going on. So that's one legislative update. The other legislative update, I attended a meeting last night. District 2 had a meeting. And of course, the question came up with District 2 about the liquor store. The liquor store came up again, but good thing it did, because we found out that there is some movement again with the liquor store, that the owner has again approached zoning. We don't know what the discussion is all about, but they have approached zoning. More than likely, they're going to ask for a variance to open up the liquor store. So we just need to keep our eyes on that. And we brought that out at the meeting last night. Is Carolyn here? I mean, not Carol. Is Cheryl still on the call? Cheryl, and did she drop off?
Dropped off so far.
Okay.
Here.
So that was the other legislative update, Deverall and Powers Drive. Bettina, you talked about the one, and so did Ms. Van, about Duke Energy. I have not followed up with Duke Energy as far as what's going on, but we will do that tomorrow. Duke Energy is looking for a variance to do something with their property that's located on Silver Star and Pine Hills Road, across the street from Hardee's, Silver Star and Belco, where that Duke Energy property on the north side of Silver Star. So we need to find out what's going on with that.
Right.
That's in District 2. So that's all I have for the legislative update that I want to share. Are there any questions? No questions, good. MAK initiative, Pastor Joey, are you on? Because he's going to share something about the MLK initiative. Okay, he's not on. Education committee, we are working. Dr. Nichols, do you mind covering that one? The one that we're working on with the community service initiative?
That's the one that I mentioned earlier, and that's the education community partnership involving Evans High School.
Okay.
The student volunteers is a collaboration, and the council is looking at working with Kelly Astro, who's one of the leads over at the community school. And we're looking at the, last year we did Earth Day at Barnett Park, and we did the cleanup around the waterway there. And this year we're looking at collaborating with Evans and making it bigger, broader, and more vast. So we're looking at cleaning up more area, more territory. And hopefully as we get closer to that date, we're asking everyone to kind of save Saturday, the 23rd. We know that typically we do our cleanup starting in the morning at around 8 a.m. and we go until about 12:30, sometimes 1 o'clock. But we're looking at that same level, but we're expanding it this year to include more of the community, and particularly the schools. So we want the schools to get involved, not just Evans, but we're looking at UCF and some of the other locations, Valencia, and to make this bigger and broader to reach more areas for the cleanup. So save the date. We're going to be sending out emails. We're going to use our Facebook media pages, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever it may be, to get the word out about the cleanup. So just stay tuned.
Thank you. I want to mention briefly also about, I said that I went to a meeting last night. I live in District 2. Pine Hills is serviced by 2 county commissioners, District 2 and District 6. I live in District 2. District 2 dividing line is Silver Star Road going north toward Apopka. So I am north of Silver Star Road. If you are south of Silver Star Road going toward Colonial, you in County Commissioner District 6. So District 2 had a community meeting last night, and it was a good meeting. We hosted about 60 people showed up, and the meeting was held at the church, the ICP church on the corner of Clare Corner Road and Lake Sparland, down the street from the neighborhood Walmart. Anyway, the commissioner, we addressed several things. We addressed about the liquor store, but I thought it was interesting that the commissioner mentioned that she wants to launch an anti-litter campaign. And I say, wow, this is something the council has been doing for last 2 years. And so she wants to launch an anti-litter campaign. I thought it was interesting too, that the people in District 2, only a few of them is signed on to this call. Cher is one of them, but she has dropped off. She's one of our leaders in District 2. Pamela May is another one from Hiwassee Oaks. We had Hiwassee Oaks community there, Regency Park, Quail Ridge, Clear Lake, Clearview, Long Lake Hill, Long Lake Park, one guy from Lockhart, Rosemont, and a couple of people off of Clare Corner Court Road. It was a really good turnout that we really put the effort in the phone calls and asked them to come out. But anyway, the point I'm getting to make is that they seeing and said the same thing that the council has been saying. They want to know, when does the cleanup come about along those areas? I thought it was interesting that the pastor of the church, who does not live in Pine Hills, but he has his church there, and he is a community a pastor, that he could not understand the neglect that he sees in this area compared to Altamount, and that he has to call. Matter of fact, he has one of Orange County person's name in his cell phone. He showed me. He has Orange County grass cutter. Why do we have to call to get the grass mowed in the Pine Hills area? But I just thought it was fascinating that they see the same thing that we were seeing. It's not just we're just saying this, but this north side of Pine Hills is seeing the same thing.
Yeah.
So what Commissioner Moore is asking to do is that be observant of where you see most of the trash. And so when you see these things, take note of where you see most of the trash. And hopefully with this anti-litter campaign, could focus on those areas. But of course, I shared with them that this is something the council has been doing. We have a coloring book, and we also have an account set up at 311 where we've been targeting this area. So I thought it was interesting, but it was a good meeting. We made good contact. The council made good contact with people from that meeting. I'm gonna do an announcement. I'm let we about 7:45. If there's no question, I'm gonna do a few announcements. We talked about the meeting tomorrow, and we talked about the meeting, the cleanup on May 5th, cleanup on May 12th. There is a meeting also tomorrow night. The mayor is doing transportation open house. Prior to the pandemic, the mayor wanted to do this transportation initiative to bring in a penny sales tax to help raise funds to be able to increase our transportation, our way of commuting. So he's looking at addressing that issue again. And tomorrow we will be at Barnett Park. Rose Nancy.
She dropped off.
Okay, so tomorrow it'll be District 6 meeting. We'll be at Barnett Park at 6 or 6:30 to talk about this transportation initiative again. And that's it, unless anybody else have any comments, observation for these last few minutes. Anybody want to share anything? Any public comments?
The meeting is 6:30 to 8.
Thank you. Tomorrow night, 6:30. Thank you. Any announcement from the Representative Brown office, Arthena?
Not tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Any public comments? Anybody from the audience want to comment?
I have a comment. At
Yes,
your
ma'am.
meeting last night, when you were talking about the Commissioner Moore addressing this issue that this discrepancy from how Pine Hills looks from other areas and how it's kept. What
Yeah.
kind of response did she say from Orange County Commissioner? What did she say?
That's why she wanted to launch this anti-litter campaign.
Is so
And
that we can help to clean it up, or what are they doing to do? What are
I
they,
know.
what's Orange County going to do?
I know, and that's one of the things that, good point, Bettina, because you're right. And I had a side conversation with the pastor, and he said the same thing that we're going to address. He wants to see the budget of how much money is put in
Yes.
neighborhood services. And I just found this a confirmation that they're saying the same thing that we've been saying. This pastor said he would like to sit down and see the budget of how much money is put in neighborhood services that go into what the Pine Hills area to keep this area clean. Answer your question, Bettina, no, she did not say anything about what the county could do. It's always about the budget. So no, other than launching this campaign, and did not go into detail what the campaign would look like.
I think some research would be in frequency of grass in Pine Hills and other places. What are the, how often do they mow the grass? Frequency and what, and because the budget's going to be coming up this summer. And if
Okay.
we need another code officer, or if we need more frequent mowings, now we need to address that in the budget.
And you're right. And the same thing that the pastor said the same thing too, that they need to hire more staff and dedicated to that department.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was just really good that they were saying the same thing. A good observation, Bettina. Thank you. Anybody, Dr. Nichols.
Yeah, and just one last observation on that, and we haven't had the opportunity. We know that Sam mentioned, and Sam's dropped off. Sam mentioned that Links, Jeff is working very diligently on some things, and I think that's a part of the possible solution with this, is that we know that we talked about problem areas in Pine Hills, and the commissioners asking about problem areas, and a lot of that is, we know that, and I'm going to say that there's this littering concern with the litter being left at the bus stops, not just in the garbage cans that are already placed there, but by patrons leaving the trash when there's not a trash can there, and even if there is. So just involving all at this point, so that we are all aware and have some type of, we have the coloring book, have some type of way to inform the public about anti-littering and what it's doing to the community, certain parts of our communities that we live in. And we know a lot of that's within the unincorporated, where the bus traffic is heavy within our major corridors. So that's important that we work with, if the commission is looking for answers and solutions. I know that a lot of that area is not within bus routes, but some of it is.
It is.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so that's important for us to look at what we can do with educating individuals about littering, and that it is illegal. We don't want to use that word. It sounds ugly, but it is what it is. It's an ordinance. So
I
we
think
have to address that.
we have to address it from two angles. One is we want to keep our community beautiful, and the other one is, oh gosh. Well, the other one, I suppose, is education and how to do it. And the other angle is to get enough staff to help.
Right.
Agreed.
And one of the things that the commission also addresses that, and that we have also talked about too, is addressing these businesses. And she gave an example. For instance, the Walgreens on Clare Corner Core Road in Hawassi has opened up a health department, not health department, but they do medical assistance, for a lack of words to say. So they needed a sign. And so she made a deal, so to speak, with them. Hey, there was a roadblock of them getting this sign. She said, you know what? We could work on this sign, but I need y'all to work on this corner and keeping this corner clean, you know? And again, these are things that we need to do with these businesses, approach these businesses, and this is something that the commission can work on, make these phone calls and say these businesses need to be cleaned up. Because these
Agreed.
businesses come to these, a perfect example, needing a permit or whatever the case may be. So anyway, there's one of the things that came up at that meeting. And I know to some people, this may sound petty, but it's only petty if you live here. But I thought this great that the pastor picked up on it so keenly, because he's really engaged into the community. Another thing that someone brought up that we've been talking about for years, they asked commission about it, is why can't the guys, before they mow the grass, and this is what the city does, why can't they pick up the paper before they mow the grass? And like the young lady says, before they mowed the grass, it was one piece of paper. After they ran the lawnmower over it, now it's 20 pieces of paper scattered everywhere.
Yep.
So
Yep.
anyway,
Amen, Patricia. I mean, you're preaching. I mean, and it sounds cavalier to anyone that might not live in this area, but it is evident that there is this area along Colonial Drive, along Silver Star, and this square where it's unkept and it's unclean, and
Yes.
we're tired of standing for it. This got to stop.
No,
But Patricia-
it's not
Patricia,
appropriate.
This is
We-
Artina, and I'm going to just relate to you one of my pet peeves, since we're talking about the trash. Just the other day, I was in traffic and a person in front of me opened their car door and just cleaned out their car and threw trash on the road. So, I mean, we can talk about the trash, but really, and I'm glad this is being streamed on Facebook, because hopefully more people see it.
Yeah, that's
Because
true.
the buck stops with everybody in Pine Hills, and until
Yes.
we stop opening the car door and throwing the crap out of our car into the streets, because somebody has to be responsible for picking it up. So why are we doing that in the first place?
Yeah.
So I mean, we've got to get to the source of why there's trash in the first place. And so I mean, I know that we have trash cans all over the place, but it's not a dumping ground. And so that's where I really get annoyed, is that we have people that feel like it's their right to just open the car door and just throw everything in the car out in the street. And I was at a traffic light. I really wanted to get out of my car and go beat the person up, but I know that's not the
I'm not
right
gonna
thing to
do
do. So
But Artina, trash attracts trash. So
It
if they
does.
see trash, they're going to continue to throw it out. And they
Right.
think that it's okay.
Exactly.
And you don't see that any other parts of Colonial Drive or Silver Star until you get into the Pine Hills area, in the unincorporated area.
Right.
So that's the problem, is that trash is attracting trash. And until we clean it up and show them and get some education out there that it's illegal, and have that code compliance out there, no littering, there's an ordinance that's out there. That's what people are going to continue to do, because they don't see trash down near Paramore and Colonial Drive, right? They don't see it, so they don't throw it out. But they see it here and they continue to throw it out and think that it's okay.
That's true, but if I'm out there
I
picking
know.
up trash, I don't need you throwing your trash on top of the trash I'm picking
I'm
up.
with you.
So, that's all I'm
I'm with
saying.
you.
We're gonna take Ken
I'm
comment
hearing you.
because we're right at 7:56. I want to encourage you all that's on the line. If you have not joined the council, go to our website, pinehills.info. Pinehills.info. Go to our website, become a member of the council. Help us help you in this Pine Hills community. Again, it's only $5 a year for a student, $15 a year if you're, I think, a senior 65 or older, $20 a year for a regular adult, $50 a year for a nonprofit agency, $100 a year for an organization. And then we have other levels. We have the gold level, the silver level, and the bronze level. Those are those big organizations that wants to really support the Pine Hills community. Ken will take this last comment, and it's at 8 o'clock. Thank you.
Okay, one, I do not believe the people in Pine Hills are overly sloppy. But I do think that if we take a look at the total budget and we divide it up by the quantity of people in Pine Hills versus the 1,200,000 in all of our unincorporated Orange County or the territory, that we may find that the investment is inadequate for the job. And the second factor is the concentration of people. This is the biggest difference with Pine Hills and other parts of unincorporated Orange County. So there is my concept.
Okay, with all minds are clear, and Pamela, you're right, we need anti-litter signage. Thank you for Pamela for being here from Hiwassee Oaks. Thank you, good people. We'll see y'all Saturday, May 5th at 8 o'clock at Robbinswood Middle School. Or either we'll see you tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock at Pine Hills NID, or tomorrow night at the transportation meeting at Barnett Park, or we see you next Tuesday, next month, the first Tuesday in April. Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming on.
Night.
Good night.
Bye.